Welcome to part 1 of this week's episode of the Functional Idiots podcast. Subsequent parts will succeed this one throughout the week, so make sure you give those a listen as well. I thought you were just about to say from a neo-Nazi, and I was like, don't. The sheriff department will put up, like, the days or the week's mugshots. Bet you're going through that and there's a fucking picture. Why are you so mad about vegetables?
Well, let me tell you, they just sit in a wheelchair all day doing nothing.
Welcome into the Functional Idiots podcast, episode 57. As always, I'm here with my best friend, Dylan.
Yo!
The soon-to-be pussy-whipped Dylan.
Yes.
But that's neither here nor there for right now. But yes, first episode of the new year, 2025, as that's how New Year's works. We did not have one last week because we're lazy fucks and we kind of never got around to doing it, even though we probably had a chance, but fuck them, that's why. So...
Yeah, but somebody, Colton.
No, it wasn't me. But it almost didn't even happen this week because it didn't seem like it was going to line up to where you had ample time to do it. Because like we were going to do it Friday night, but then it didn't because I don't remember why.
Friday. Why couldn't we do it Friday night?
Something came up to where, like, by the time we would have done it, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking starting it at 10 o'clock at night because we're going to be on here for at least 2 hours. Fuck that.
Right.
Well, then we're going to do it Saturday. Well, then Saturday, I had to do some stuff in the morning, which I'm going to get into, my Friday and Saturday escapades here in a little bit. And that took longer than I was hoping to. So then by the time I got home, there wasn't enough time for us to record before we had some people coming over to my house for another Christmas thing. We couldn't do it then. And then today, Dylan's like, oh, I have to work today. I'm like, okay, can you do it after? He's like, oh, I don't know. And then, like, so I was like, all right, I just kind of mailed it in. I'm like, all right, well, I won't bother doing the rest of my show prep because he doesn't sound like we're going to do it. And then at like 4:15, he's like, hey, I'm home. You want to record? God damn it. All right, on fucking A. I got to do all my prep first. Christ. But here we are. Episode 57.
Here we are.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm in my new chair.
You got a new chair. You actually have money?
Well, I can't say who got it because I don't know if I should announce it yet.
You got it for Christmas.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas.
Okay, the easy fix.
So yeah, got it for Christmas from somebody, and no, and super comfy. But the unfortunate thing is, last year I got a similar chair, and I thought my fat ass broke it, but it was just my dumb ass didn't put the bolts in tight enough, so they fell out.
So you're sitting there, though, it's a check.
Yeah, so I had two bolts holding my fucking chair in, and all of a sudden, like, I could lean to the side.
And let me say something: 2 bolts holding that chair together is more was holding that chair together than what's holding Dylan's life together right now.
Them were some Herculean bolts, let me just tell you.
Put some mega amount of Loctite on that shit.
But I had 2 extra bolts for my new chair, so I slapped those puppies in, and now I have a separate chair for my, like, to sit my comfortable fat ass in front of the TV.
Oh, when we play Black Ops 6, except for me, it never fucking works because Trey doesn't know how to make a game.
I think that. I would say it would just be on your end, but Jordan's doesn't want to work either.
I'll get around to that because it's in the show prep. Don't worry. Yeah. But we got some other things we want to hit on first.
Yes.
But first, I want to say,
fuck the Green Bay Packers, fucking dickheads.
Well, it didn't. Why? Because they lost to the Bears.
Yes.
It didn't make a difference.
It did for me. All right. This was the first time I've ever had like. So every once in a while I'll do sports betting very rarely, like extra like $2 here or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
I had a
Dylan's gonna hit rich.
I had a fucking
Guess what,
goddamn...
Brianna? I'm in the money today. We could go out to McDonald's. You can get a large size meal today.
I had a, let's see how many parlays. 15 pick parlay, okay?
God damn.
So
what was going to be the payout on your 2 cents?
Fuck the Falcons. Actually,
if you would have hit 15 parlays in a row, what was going to be the payout?
I put $9 down because my dumbass didn't know how to pick a 15 pick parlay, so I bet on just the Browns and the Baltimore Ravens with $10. So I got $9 back after I cashed out immediately.
Jesus.
So I bet $9. The picks were Baltimore Ravens win against Cleveland, Cincinnati Bengals, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Eagles, Falcons, Redskins, Texans, Colts, Broncos, Chargers, Dolphins, Rams, Cardinals, and the Lions, of course. Those were all the teams that I wanted to win. And, of course, the Green Bay fucking Packers lost to the Bears because they're fucking dillholes. And then the Falcons lost to... The fucking Panthers. Which is like, why the fuck did you even show up then? If you're going to lose to the Panthers.
Okay, but if assuming that you would have hit all 15 legs of your parlay, how much money would you have gotten?
$5,200.
Damn!
Yeah.
Out of $9, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But you hope to God it fucking pans out for you, because if it don't, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're out a whole $9. Yeah, you have to skip out on McDonald's lunch for one day. But no, I wanted to say before I got rudely interrupted by some fat ass.
Sorry.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, I don't know why, but if you do, it's at Fun Idiots Show. Email us, functionalidiotspodcast@gmail.com. And our YouTube is Functional Idiots Productions. And if you want to support us on Patreon, where you will be able to get a little bit of extra content, like in this episode, that is patreon.com / Functional Idiots Podcast. What? What's your problem?
I went to our Twitter, right? Because we both have access to it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Went to the Twitter, and we had about 20-something followers, and 20 of those followers were bots. And I go back to it, and it says we now have a whole whopping 3 followers.
That sounds about right. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But all right, let's actually roll into the rest of this shit show. And you've already mentioned that the Lions hopefully are going to be fucking units for one more week. Well, we want them to be a few more weeks after that, but for sure one more week and win the NFC, right? If they could have, if the Packers, goddamn Packers, could have just beat the Vikings last week, that we would be resting all of our starters, I would assume, this week, but we can't. So if you don't know, because you live under a fucking rock, the Vikings and the Lions, who are in the same division, mind you, are playing on Sunday Night Football, which is in like 3 hours from when as we're recording this right now. And whoever wins that game will be the first overall seed in the NFC conference. And then they'll get a first round bye into the playoffs. If see, this is where the fucked up part of it comes, right? In my opinion of how the NFL playoff system works, whatever team loses, okay, so they'll still be 14-3, mind you, will become the fucking 5th seed.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. What? You're 14-3. Yeah, you're number 5 out of 7. Well, what about who's in front of me? Well, one team's 15-2. Okay, yeah. This team, I don't know if we'll assume the Eagles win. They're 14-3, but you held tiebreaker over them. But they're ahead of you. Okay, who else is ahead of you? This team who's 11-6. Okay, and then this team right here who barely squeaked in. They're fucking 1-16. I'm the 5th seed. Yeah, you're the 5th seed, and you don't get a home playoff game. Sweet, awesome, thanks, man.
I am so happy to be here.
What a crock of shit, dude.
There was a rumor that the NFL is going to change their playoff contention, or how the playoffs work, just based on the fact that a 14-3 team is going to be 5th seed.
Yeah, that is such bullshit right there. Like, I think it's bullshit how it is already. There's too many divisions, in my opinion, because you can have a team who arguably goes 1-16, but as long as the other 3 teams in their division go 0-17, they make the playoffs because that's how their playoff system works. It's dumb. There's too many divisions. You need to whittle it down from, if you want to whittle it down from 8 and then go down to like 6, so 3 in each conference. I think ideally it would be best if you had 2 in each conference. Or I'm sorry, 2 in each division. Or I'm sorry, yes, 2 in each conference, so 4 total, right? So 8 teams in each division. I think that would be the best. Because then you're going to weed out the teams who don't really fucking belong there. They only got in because of backdoor bullshit, right? And I think about it. The Packers, who are what, 11 and they finished what, 12-5 or 11-6?
The Packers?
Yeah.
12-5, I believe.
12-5, okay. So, but there was a chance where they could actually not make the playoffs.
No, they're 11-6, sorry.
11-6, okay. But there's a chance that they could not make the playoffs if some other things went differently, which is a bunch of shit. And then you could have a team in there who has a losing record, bump a team out who is well above 500. It's just dumb. And then the seeding purpose of it is that if you win your division, that's the first 4 seeds, with the top seed being the NFC, leader. And then everybody else fills in underneath. So again, in this case, you're going to have a arguably much better team, either be it the Lions or the Vikings, have a fucking road divisional wild card game, being 14-3. What? What? It's just dumb. Like, it should just go by fucking record for the actual seeding amongst each conference. I think that should help. That would straighten things out massively right there. Like, okay, yeah, you won your division going 1-17, but you're the 7th seed. So you don't get to be the 4th seed. You're the 7th seed. Like, that's how it should be at the bare minimum. But I think you need to cut the amount of divisions in half, and then that would fix a lot of bullshit too. I know that the NFL would be like, oh, but then the scheduling conflict. Jesus fucking Christ. You're right. Yeah. You're going to have 14 games now be divisional games. Oh, wait, that's actually a great idea. But what the fuck do I know? Man, well, fuck it, It's just dumb. So, but hopefully Lions can beat Lions. It's obviously a home game at Ford Field. We did beat the Vikings earlier. I don't remember what week. Doesn't matter. We beat them by a field goal by Big Dick Jake Bates.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went from selling bricks to selling fucking goalposts. That's for damn sure. So hopefully the Lions can punch through and get a week off and then have home field advantage all the way to the NFC Championship game, assuming they make it there. But sticking with football, because there's not much to add to it because we got to with the Lions because, well, they haven't played yet. So next week might be a hooray. It might be or it could be just going to be a wait and see, boys. Wait and see.
Are you going to watch the game or no?
I might watch the first part of it, but since it's on Sunday Night Football, I won't be able to watch all of it because, I do have to work in the morning. So, kind of a thing.
Well, I have tomorrow off, so...
why'd you take tomorrow off? Just by pure chance, or...?
No, because I wanted to watch the football game.
So when you found out that they were on Sunday Night Football, you're like, yeah, my fat ass is staying home today.
Here's the thing. I would not have taken it off if I didn't get the amount of vacation time I did get.
Oh, what'd you get? 3 hours?
3 weeks.
Oh, God damn. All right. That's only a little less than what I get.
So
that's pretty... No, wait, I got a sound effect for that.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of sound effects, we got a new thing, so now Dylan can play sound effects, except he can't because
I gotta figure it out.
He had since December 27th to figure it out. It's January 5th, and he hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm a procrastinator.
What can I say? He's a stupid ass. I just lost my train of thought I was going to say now, too. But it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that'll be more fun because now I can have more sound effects because I was out of fucking space on my mixer pads, so now I can have some more. And plus I can double up on the and annoy the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah.
So, but sticking with playoffs, but football in general, we have the college football playoffs going on right now. And I don't know how much of that you've watched, Dylan.
College footballs?
Yeah, the CFP?
Nope.
You've watched none. Okay, so...
None of it.
Now, most of the games have been kind of ass whoopings, especially if whoever's going against Ohio State, Miles will not even show up because they're going to get their fucking teeth kicked in.
No, don't give them the credit they deserve. Fuck them guys.
No, I got to give them credit. When you fucking trounce Ohio or Tennessee 42-17 and then trounce Oregon 41-21 in the Rose Bowl, I mean, you got to give them their dues. Like, their loss to Michigan, they have taken that personally, and they're fucking slaughtering everyone they play. So, but if you look at it, so the initial 12 teams in the CFP were Clemson, Texas, Arizona State, Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon, SMU, Penn State, Boise State, Indiana, Notre Dame, and Georgia. With Arizona State, Oregon, Boise State, and Georgia getting byes because they won their championship games. Be it either Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and I think Arizona State's Mountain West. I don't remember for sure. Or no, Boise State's Mountain West. Arizona State might be Big 12 then. Doesn't matter. And then so they didn't have to play in the first round. They got an automatic bye to the quarterfinals. So Texas beat Clemson. And Ohio State fucking trashed Tennessee. Penn State beat SMU, and then Notre Dame beat Indiana. And then Texas and Arizona State. Now, I turned that game on with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it was just when Arizona State tied it up. Dude, that last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter and then overtime was some fucking entertaining ass shit right there. Right? Because Texas had 2 chances on field goals to win the game, both fucking missed. It was like, oh my God. You know, shit was going bonkers. And then Ohio State beat Oregon. Penn State kicked the shit out of Boise State, and then Notre Dame, of all teams, beat Georgia. So your final 4 or your semifinals are Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. Playing Texas and Ohio State playing January 10th, and Penn State, Notre Dame playing January 9th, which I believe is like let's see, 6, 7, 8, Thursday and Friday. Being in the Cotton Bowl and then the Orange Bowl, respectively. So, but if you would have told me, right, so this is the first year of the expanded college football playoffs from 4 to 12 teams. And I think 4, it wasn't enough because there was times where like basically, so like, and we'll take the case of Michigan and Ohio State when Michigan didn't suck. Other than this year, Michigan and Ohio State basically decided the last 3 years, decided who was going to play in the Big Ten championship game. Because at that point, usually both teams were either 11-1 or 12-0, and whoever won that game was going to go to the Big Ten championship game because of how the Big Ten was set up at that time with their teams or with their format. And so then that would be that team's last game. They'd get a bowl game, but that doesn't really fucking mean anything anymore. So whoever lost that game would not be in the college football playoffs because most likely they were going to win the Big Ten championship game. So I could see, and just because they're not in it, I think there was a good reason why the CFP should have and was expanded because you definitely were leaving out good teams. Like, okay, say Michigan wasn't shitty this year. They were actually good, like ranked in the top 5 like they usually are, right? And they beat Ohio State 13-10 like they did. That was Ohio State's second loss. Yes, they lost to Oregon in the year. Oh yeah, by the way, who was ranked first overall according to AP. And then you lost to Michigan, say they were ranked 5th and Ohio State was ranked 4th or 2nd, whatever they were at the time. That I don't think that necessarily means that you should be left out of the CFP. Just because you lost to 2 teams, one who's ranked 1st in the nation and the other one who's top 5. Right? Like, that doesn't seem fair. So I understand why they did it. They only did it because it's more money. But it makes sense why they did it. Now, I think it's not perfect because, I mean, let's be honest. Boise State, you're not going to win the fucking college football playoffs. You're not going to win the national championship, right? SMU, fat chance. You're not going to win the fucking national championship. Clemson of like 6-7 years ago, I'd say yes. Right now, no, you're not going to win the national championship. You don't have a chance. So, I mean, it's not perfect. I think how giving out just first round buys for conference champions, I don't think that's the proper way to do it personally. I understand why you did it, but I don't think that's the correct way. And they'll tweak it, I'm sure. But if you look at it overall, to the teams that were in at the beginning, the 12 teams that were in, and then who was left out, I actually didn't really have a problem with it. I know people were like, "Oh, but Alabama should have been in it," but then Alabama lost to Michigan, who was still unranked in the bowl game. So I think the CFP knew what they were doing, leaving Alabama out. And yes, you're having Texas play Clemson. Texas beat Clemson 38-24. Ohio State beat Tennessee 42-17. Now nobody saw that ass whooping coming. Penn State beat SMU 38-10. I mean, like, not even close. It's not a perfect system, okay? But it's better than what we have, I think, because now teams actually don't just have to be good for one more game to get to the championship game. They have to be, in some cases, good for 1, 2, 3 extra, 2 extra games, 3 overall to get to the championship game. Like, look at Michigan versus TCU 2 years ago, when TCU then got the grand prize of having to play Georgia in the national championship game, and then got their shit kicked in so bad that in the fourth quarter, Georgia started playing their second string. TCU did not beat Michigan in that game. I think it was the Rose Bowl. Michigan beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl game. TCU had no fucking business being in the national championship game, right? It was just Michigan. They happened to catch Michigan on a bad day. Right. So it kind of eliminates that. Like, imagine if SMU would have beat Penn State. Penn State's a better football organization than SMU, hands down, right? But what if you catch them on a bad day? Vanderbilt caught Alabama on a bad day. It happens, right? So being the one and done, and now you're on to the national championship game, it's just too short of a stepping stone. And I don't think we need to go past 12 unless you expand it to 16, and then it's a true, like, no one gets buys and all that type of shit. Because then you're going a little bit too long. Like, you're already at the same length, I believe, is the NFL playoffs 4 rounds. Wild cards, yes. Divisional. Yeah, it's like you're already adding now an extra 2 weeks onto the season, 4 weeks overall. So you don't need to go longer. That's for sure. And I think 12 is a good number. I think 16 would be too many, because then you're starting to weed in some teams that really don't deserve to be there. But 12 is a good starting point. But anyways, so roundabout way, if you told me at the beginning of the year that the first iteration of the 12-team CFP, the 4 teams in the semifinals were Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame, I would have laughed you down. Like I said, there's no chance in hell that those are going to be the 4 fucking teams in the Final Four. No way. The only one I would believe would be like, okay, I could see Ohio State in there, but Penn State and Notre Dame, get the fuck out of here with that shit, right? But here we are. I mean, it's Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. It's like, these are not the usual suspects. I mean, for last year's, the usual suspects were Michigan, Alabama, and Georgia. And then somebody would get tagged along. Like, those were the usual suspects. We don't have any more of the usual suspects anymore. Like, it's teams that have not been this far in a long time, which is great. Considering NIL has kind of ruined college football as of late. So it's definitely interesting. Hopefully Texas doesn't suck cock against Ohio State. We shall wait and see. I think the Penn State and Notre Dame game will be really good, because those are 2 teams.
Sowed the fucking fate of Texas, my guy.
I know. Well, I mean, Ohio State's favored by 6 points right now, and Notre Dame's favored over Penn State by 2. So, yeah, it's like, I mean, I didn't watch all of the Oregon game, because once, like, at the end of the first quarter, it was like fucking 38-0 or whatever the hell it was against Oregon. I'm like, yep, this game's over. Click, different channel. I did the same thing against Tennessee. It was like 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. I'm like, yep, this game's over. Different channel. So it's gonna be. I think it's good. And we shall see if it continues on like this. Hopefully, we don't have any more blowouts, because blowouts don't. They tend to get piss poor ratings, and ESPN don't like that stuff. That's for damn sure. So, but yeah, it's been, and there's been some entertaining games, like the end of that Texas Arizona State game. That was entertaining. Notre Dame and shit, I just closed it now. Who the fuck did Notre Dame play? I don't even fucking remember. Oh, Notre Dame, Georgia. That whole game was really entertaining. Obviously, it got delayed a day. It was supposed to be played on New Year's. It got delayed a day because of the terrorist thing that went on in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. So, but that was a really, really entertaining game. I know it's more than a thing. I don't want to talk about it because it's already been beat to death for like 4 days in the news media. We've had enough of it. Well, I mean, I don't want to say we've had enough of it, but it's you can get information of it elsewhere. This is not where we generally talk about that type of stuff. So, but the type of stuff we do talk about is one of Dylan's favorite things as of last year, because we've only done it once, is the Lake Superior State University's banned words list for each year.
Oh my God. I saw this the other day, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't remember what it. I think I know one of them, but I can't remember the other.
Okay, well that's coming up in a little bit. But first, let's go on a little bit of escapades that I had. So this past Friday and Saturday, I'm like, you know what? I don't even know how old my fucking bed is. I'm like, it's starting to get dished out. Fat ass syndrome, I know. In the middle and stuff like that. It's old, and plus it's only a twin. I'm like, you know what? I have the dough right now to upgrade to a queen or a king if I decide to ball out that much. Didn't queen, and buy a new frame and headboard and all that shit. So I'm like, you know what? And I'm gonna go buy a new bed. And the bed I wanted to get was a Sleep Number. So I went to a Sleep Number store that's in the Grand Rapids area, out by one of the malls. Yep. And laid on a bed. And before I went there, and right now is a good time to buy Sleep Numbers because it's their Christmas or holiday or year-end sale, whatever you want to call it. And then when I was there, the salesperson was like, yeah, and on January 20th, there's a price increase. So I'm like, okay, so basically I have until January 20th to come up with my decision, which I was going to come up with the decision way before that. But the decision I had to make was, okay, because it's like a car fucking dealership, right? You walk in, it's like you walk into a Ford dealership, they don't just sell F-150s, right? They sell like 12 different goddamn models of beds. So you got different ones, and the only difference between them basically is just, if you don't know what a Sleep Number is, first of all, you're stupid. Second of all, I'll give you a crash course on it. So Sleep Number is basically like it's a giant air mattress, basically, that doesn't deflate. And you can change the firmness levels of it, and it does it and there's a little air pump, there's airbags in it and stuff, and it'll puff up if you want it firmer, it'll, deflate a little bit if you want it softer. I mean, that's the general concept. It's basically a glorified air mattress. Right. But on top of it, there's a padding level, and that's basically the difference between the levels or different models of bed is how much padding is on top of the airbags. So, and I found two online. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's probably between these two. Went there, decided on the one I wanted. Okay, well, they sell frames and stuff, and box frames and headboards that are outrageously expensive. So I was like, you know what? No, I'll just go to one of the local furniture stores and get a platform bed that has some storage drawers on it, because that'll be kind of nice for storage and stuff. And then I won't need a box frame because it can just sit on the slats of the platform bed. Save me even a little bit more money. Okay, so didn't buy the bed straight up. Just said, okay, yeah, pretty sure, but let me think about it to be for sure. Like, okay. So I went to one of the first furniture store, found a couple that I liked, didn't buy any. Went to the second furniture store, and there was this one that had 8 drawers on it, and like a headboard that was kind of like a bookshelf, or had like a shelf inside of it. And I was like, okay, that's really nice. Kind of like that. And it was a good price, wasn't stupid expensive. I'm like, okay, well, let me sleep on it, because it was still all together. It was going to be a lot of money that I was going to spend. And I didn't want to just spur the moment, be like, yep, let's just fucking drop, some odd $1,000 on this type of shit without sleeping on it for a night. So let's sleep on it for a night. So I decided to sleep on it, wake up the next morning, I'm like, yep, okay, I'll go do that. And we had to go back. I didn't have to go back to the Sleep Number store to buy it, but we had to go back out to Target, which was next to it. So we might as well just roll right into fucking Sleep Number and purchase it. Purchase the bed. Okay. Had to do a couple other things before I could go back out to the furniture store out by the lakeshore in Tulip City there and buy the frame and the headboard. Roll in there, talk to this, see the salesperson. I'm like, yep, we're here to make the purchase. And the way she looked at me was like, I just kicked her dog. So he's like, we sold it earlier today. No, you sold, and it was the only one they had. I'm like, no, what do you mean you sold? Yeah, we sold it earlier today. I'm like, well, I have the bed coming on the 10th, man. God damn it. So yeah, I was like, shit. Now I rolled through the store or whatever, find a different one that was similar, didn't have as much storage and stuff. But I'm like, what are the fucking odds that I roll in there, right? They had one left in a queen of what I figured I was pretty sure I wanted, but wanted to sleep on it. Come the next morning or next day, and it's fucking gone. After I had purchased the bed and said, yep, we'll schedule it for January 10th to show up. Well, you have nothing to put it on, asshole, because some douche canoe bought your fucking frame that you were going to buy. So I'd like to know who that is and kick their fat ass. bro, not fucking understanding here what my life is like, because, you know, the whole world revolves around me, douche canoe. So, but yeah, it was a giant fucking clusterfuck. And then having to drive through fucking lake effect bands, because it can't just snow in one area of Michigan. No, it's going to snow here. And then you go through some dry pavement. Then it's going to snow like a son of a bitch here. And then you get a little bit more dry pavement. Then it's going to fucking snow like a son of a bitch here. Yeah, it's great. Michigan is great, weather-wise. If you want to have a very nice winter, summers that are not hot at all, no humidity, yeah, move to Michigan. You'll get none of that shit. Yeah, said no one ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, never. If you want to never sweat through your shirt in the summertime when you're just thinking about going outside, move to Michigan. So that was it was nuts. It was fun because I've wanted a sleep number for a while, or thought about it. Like, if I ever get my own bed, I'll probably get a sleep number. It's just they're a lot of money, so I'd have to, you know, I can't just do it working a fucking job at McDonald's or something. Not that I've worked at McDonald's, but you know what I mean. You can't just fucking swing that on a fucking minimum wage salary. But also, then again, a sleep number is not minimum wage. I think a basic like Serta sleeper or something like that would be minimum wage. But yeah, it was fun. But not as fun as much fun as I'm having with Black Ops 6 right now.
Oh yeah.
If you can notice the sarcasm in my voice. So about a month ago, we were singing the praises, weren't we, Dylan? Just singing the praises of Black Ops. It was a great game. Multiplayer's fun. The campaign, it was a little bit of a miss. Zombies is pretty fun. Great skill. People are bitching about the skill-based matchmaking. I've never had a problem with it. I mean, yeah, you'll get games where it's like, why did you stick us in this game? We're getting fucking shit on, you know, but then on the way around, you know, same way around, you get into a game where you're shitting on everyone else. It's like, yeah, I didn't really belong in this game for the exact opposite reason. But it wasn't nearly as bad as previous games. It was great. And then I updated Windows 11 to, I think it's like 24H2 or something like that. I don't even know what the fuck it is. And then like Black Ops 6 updated to their Christmas thing or whatever, where you had to collect the Archie fucking figurines or so whatever bullshit.
Oh shit, I didn't even bother doing that. Oh, fuck.
That's okay.
Now I'm gonna say.
And with those updates, if you're on PC, at least not for everyone, but for some, I've now started to get a DirectX error crash constantly. Like, there's times where it's crashed in the lobby for multiplayer. There's been times where it's crashed in the loading screen to load a game once you get into a game. There's been times where it's like, oh, here's the countdown. What's the countdown for? When your game's going to crash, because the minute it hits 0, crash. There's been times where it's in the middle of a game. There was one game where I was fucking balling out. I was rocking with like a 2.5 kill death ratio, which is pretty good for me. And my game's like, all right, you've had enough fun. Crash. So ruin my fucking stats for that, because then once your game crashes, you don't get any of the experience or whatever that you earn from that game. There's like a bunch of different fixes for it. There's no fix because it's a problem with the game. And the reason I say it's a problem with the game, because I brought up that I updated Windows to 24H2 or whatever the hell it's called, right? And that's when I started having problems with it, but it was also after the game updated. And there's like no rhyme or reason to when the game crashes. It's just like, it crashed. Oh, you fucking look to the left, crash. Oh, you started walking, crash. Oh, you decided to think about a naked woman, crash. There's no reason why it crashes. It just crashes. You know, if it was something like every time I throw a grenade, it crashed, I just wouldn't throw grenades. But there's just no reason to it. So, and I've tried lowering my settings. I've even uninstalled and reinstalled the game, verified the game files like 11 times, right? Done everything short of reinstalling Windows, because I'd have to fucking reinstall everything on my computer. I'm like, it's not worth it for a thing that's wrong with the game, right?
Right.
And I keep saying this to my brother, because I'm like, he's like, because there's like 5 of us that usually get on at one time or whatever and play COD. And he's like, you want to go down? I'm like, not if my game crashes. He's like, well, I don't have that problem. Yeah, because you're on Xbox. It's only a PC problem. Well, then just get on an Xbox. Why would I give him the satisfaction of an additional game download when I've already paid the $70 for the game on my computer and it was working just fine until about 2-3 weeks ago?
Right.
No, how about they just fix their fucking game? It's not a hard thing to do. And I didn't have a problem with it until that point. And there's been other people that have had problems with it. And I said, there's no fix. Everybody that claims they found a fix, no, it's just you happen to get lucky. I mean, there was one time I thought I fixed it, and me and you played zombies for like 4 hours, and I didn't crash. And then the next day I load up the game. Every time I'd get into a game, it'd crash. I think one time I got through an entire game without it crashing. What did it do the next game? Crash. Like, it's just random. I don't know what the problem is, and people have tried to explain it, saying, oh, it's something about dynamic, this, that, or whatever. No, it's down to Treyarch doesn't know how to decided to push out a fucking buggy-ass update 2 weeks before Christmas when all the developers are going to go on Christmas vacation, and then no one's there to fucking fix the game. It's just annoying as hell. And I know I'm not the only one having this issue, because I know plethora of other people are having the same issue. And it can't be computers, because if it was a computer, it would be every game I'd play or any time I'd be using my computer and doing something that requires using the DirectX software or whatever, which is a Microsoft thing, it would crash. But it only crashes in Black Ops 6. It has not crashed in any other game. So it can't be my fucking computer. And how could it be my computer, okay? Let me tell you what I got on my computer. In fact, I can go and tell you right now what I have at my fucking computer. Let's see here. We'll go to System. Go to About. Let's see. So I have version 24H2 of Windows 11. I have a 13th gen Intel Core i9-13900K, 64 gigabytes of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080, and 2 terabytes of an SSD. I don't think my computer is the issue. I think it's got enough firepower to fucking run Black Ops. And it did until about 2.5 weeks ago. And it's just frustrating because I was enjoying playing the game, and now I can't. Because it's basically, it's broke. I can't even play the game. And I know our friend Jordan, who's been on here once, he bought it through Steam, I think, didn't he?
I don't think you can. I think you had to buy it through...
No, I think it's on Steam.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, I think the last few Black Ops games have been on, or not Black Ops, I'm sorry, last few Call of Duty games have been, yeah, it's on Steam. It's the same price, it's $69. Oh, wait.
Nice.
$99. But and I know he's had problems with it. I think he said he got it on Steam. He's had problems with it too. Not the same problems I had, but the problems he'd have is like basically whenever he'd get into the lobby, it like load in the game, it'd crash. He's like, okay, well, I'd load into the game, it'd crash. Go and verify their game files. That didn't fix it, crash. Okay, maybe let me re-download the shaders. Guess what? It crashed. Crash. So I don't know if his was related to mine, but since it's through Steam, it doesn't give him the same error code. But it basically renders the game a waste of 120 gigabytes of my storage. Because it's worthless now. I can't play the fucking game. And it's just super annoying. Now, I don't know if there hasn't been a Windows update since. I don't know if the game's updated since. I haven't tried. It's so frustrating for a brand new game to not work because a quote unquote 4-year development cycle and we can't make a fucking bug-free game yet.
Right.
It's just massively frustrating.
Yeah, it's a fucking pain in the ass because especially if like you gotta think you're obviously like you're too big, especially now since it's owned by Microsoft, but you're too big, players are going to be your PC players and then Xbox players technically. I mean, PS5. I mean, I know there's PlayStation players, but I've seen a lot more Xbox players than PlayStation players. So, but a lot of people tend to play on PC more nowadays. So it's just like, obviously you said you can't be the only one that's experiencing this shit. So it's like, come on, Microsoft, get your shit together, buddy.
Yeah, and I know it's not there's a problem going on within Black Ops 6. And that the amount of active players peaked about a month after the game came out, which is, good, but then it usually keeps going up until Christmas. And then after Christmas, because during your Christmas time, other games usually come out, big AAA title games or something like that. And so then it usually tails off. It started tailing off after Thanksgiving. And like there was one, I think from like 1 week to the next, it dropped 43%.
Damn.
In player count. 43% in average player count. I mean, that's fucking bonkers. So according to activeplayer.io, now I don't know how accurate this is because Like in old Call of Duty games, when you would load up, like in the original Black Ops, when you would load up, it would say how many players are currently playing online or connected to the servers. They don't do that anymore because, it kind of emphasizes when they have massive issues like this. So when the game came out, now mind you, the game came out basically the end of October, I think October 25th. So there's only 6 days of October left. So in October, the average monthly user was 395,000. Okay.
Yeah.
There's our starting point. During the month of November, it shot up to 783,175 average monthly users.
Dang.
Now, I believe this is just within the U.S. So, and this is gathered from Steam downloads and other reputable public sources. So again, we can only assume that how accurate it is. And the average daily users in November were 224,510. Now, that is less than October, but again, there was only 6 days in October. That's not a surprise. The game had just came out. Obviously, anybody that pre-ordered the game, they're going to be playing the shit out of it. So we're not really going to count October. December dropped to 446,000 monthly users, an average of 127,879 daily users.
Damn.
That's a 44% drop in monthly users and about a same amount of drop in average daily users. And then from December until the last 30 days, now mind you, the last 30 days still covers most of December, it's down another 5% overall in average monthly users and daily users. So, I mean, it's the game is already fucking dying, and it's only been out for 2 months. Not even out 3 months yet. And I mean, how many of it though is because people can't play it because it keeps crashing on PC.
Right.
I mean, I can't play it. I would like to play the game. I can't. I physically cannot play it for more than 5 minutes and have to restart the game. Fuck that. I'll go play a different game. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my time and investment. Because it's just annoying. And unless there's a magical fix that I have not read or found yet, or short of completely reinstalling Windows 11, which I'm not doing, I'm not going to play the game anymore. Because it's not playing. It's literally Crash Simulator 2024 is what it is. That's all it is. So it sucks because I was enjoying it. I was having fun. We were having a good time, all of us that would play, and now we can't, at least as a group. And I mean, Jordan can't because I think he's still having issues. I can't because I'm having issues, and then there's like only two of us that would play at the same time. So it's just annoying and frustrating. And I don't know. I would have thought with Microsoft buying Activision, it would have kind of fixed Activision's scummy business model.
Well,
but it seems to have actually gotten worse.
This is the last game under Activision. I think Microsoft had some input, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, like okay, so because I think the merger went through at like the beginning of 2024, I want to say, or maybe the end of 2023.
I think the end of 2023, but yeah.
Okay, but still, at that point, Black Ops 6 is still well along in the development cycle. Like, they already have a fleshed out campaign. They're already doing, they've probably already completed voice acting or in the process of completing voice acting. They're doing the cinematics and stuff like that. They're almost to the point where they're in the polishing stage. They're well along in the process of developing multiplayer and zombies. So there's not much input that Microsoft could put from above to massively change stuff because there's only a year basically to do that at the most. So the next game, which is, now I thought it was supposed to be another Black Ops game, because it was going to be like a direct sequel to Black Ops 2. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen now. Now there's been other things that it could be actually Infinity Ward's game. So it'll be another Modern Warfare game or something like that. I don't know. So it's all kind of up in the air right now. Now that game will have 2 full years basically under Microsoft control. So it could be anywhere from 2/3 to a full half of the development time of that game. But again, I don't know how much Microsoft will actually change anything, because the days of Call of Duty actually taking risks, long gone. Gone. We are not seeing another no Russian mission ever again. Not at least out of a Call of Duty game title. It might be out of an independent title or an indie game, or maybe if who the fuck's about to go under? Is it Bethesda? I think Bethesda's no, it's Ubisoft. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ubisoft is about to
Ubisoft.
fucking go, is about to go fucking bankrupt. Unless they decide to take a big stab at a game and take all the risks in the world of basically, going doing stuff along the lines of the no mission Russian style.
Absolutely not.
They won't, though, because they're all pussies. They don't want to offend anybody. And what makes games memorable is memorable moments that, for better or for worse, players remember, right? What do you remember out of the Modern Warfare 2? No Russian, right? It's the most memorable COD mission ever, right? Because you're literally being a terrorist, rolling around, killing people in an airport. Okay, let's go back to the original Modern Warfare. What's the most memorable mission out of that? Personally, it's me. It's all gillied up. The sniper mission in Pripyat.
Yeah.
Fantastic mission, right?
Great mission.
Yeah.
Great mission.
To me, the most memorable thing in the original Black Ops game was the Viktor Reznov kind of like half flashback thing where it's like you're talking to him and he talk about the flashbacks to when he was they found, I think it's the Nova 6 gas or something like that. That's the part of Black Ops I remember besides obviously the meme. What's the numbers, Mason? What do they mean besides that?
What do they mean, Mason?
Yeah.
You fuck.
I've only played the campaign of Black Ops 2 once, so there's nothing that other than the fact that you could change how the ending was, which was pretty neat.
You're fucking lying. You are fucking lying right now. I don't know. You had to kill fucking Harper.
True. You also had to kill Mason. There's that. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. You had to kill mainstay characters, basically, of the Call of Duty series. Well, kind of. I mean, they only had one game, but you know what I mean. But you had that. But that, I mean, in Modern Warfare 3, you kind of wrapped up the thing with Makarov. I mean, the thing you remember the most out of that for me is the end mission when you are fighting them and then you basically hang them in a mall and then you sit there and fucking light a cigar. Total badass scene right there.
Absolutely. That shit was fucking cold as fuck.
I mean, totally dope as shit. I mean, you could also say when the truck comes in London and blows up because you're like that family. It's kind of a more pussified version of No Russian because you're not the one doing the killing, but it's still basically terrorism right then and there in front of you. But then after that, there's besides absolutely laughable missions that are so fucking bad, there's no missions that really stick out and set from Black Ops 2 on, because that came out after Modern Warfare 3. There's not really any missions that stick out that were like, yeah, I'm going to fucking remember that. Or that makes this game or just even the game overall being replayable. I mean, I think out of the past 6 COD games, I've replayed the Cold War campaign. That's the only campaign I've actually replayed. Every other one, it's like I've played it once and I've never touched the campaign again. Where versus the Modern Warfare campaign or Modern Warfare 2, God knows how many times I've replayed that. Black Ops, same thing. They have replayability in them, and it's not shoehorn replayability in it like how Black Ops 2 was, where there's different endings, or in the past, Black Ops 6, you could do missions different ways. It was replayable because it was good. The story was good. The acting was good. Everything about it was good. It wasn't just chocked full of bullshit stuff. Like, oh, here, let me roll this fucking Jeep up in the middle of the desert 20 feet away from these guys and they don't see it. Yeah, that's fucking realistic. You know what I mean?
Get him,
like that,
guys.
man.
Where?
Yeah, where? Oh, where? I don't see
Where?
him. Meanwhile, I'm fucking tongue punching his scrotum. Oh, I'm right here, dumbass. It's that right there is what ruined that mission for me, because I was like, really? Like, we're going to have the guys that unobservant until I shoot them, that I can literally run them over before they fucking do anything? Like, come on, man. Referring to the Black Ops 6 mission. Yeah, but yeah. It's just, there's no risks that are taken. Like, big risks. I mean, I guess Modern Warfare 2019, the one mission you can remember is when you're doing the interrogation, I think, with the Butcher, and you're holding the gun, and it's supposedly loaded. You can either point it at him, or you can point it at his wife and kids, and then you could shoot him, but the gun's not loaded. But, I mean, other than that, Modern Warfare 2, the second one, nothing special in it. Modern Warfare 3, we're not even going to talk about. Cold War, it was okay. I think I take it back. It was a pretty good campaign, other than just it was released too early. And so it was a buggy mess. But I mean, Black Ops 6, other than the ending missions with Harrow, which were so fucking like, hey, let's take all the drugs and then make a campaign mission. There's nothing really memorable, in my opinion, about the campaign. And now, unfortunately, it's going the same way with the game because the game is unplayable, at least for me, and then a bunch of other players too. And I know there's now like a bunch of other people that are like Twitch streamers or big time streamers overall that are no longer playing the game because there's a problem with hacking in it. And maybe I've not personally seen a lot of hacking, but I think it's because it's more in Warzone and also in ranked play. Like basically, if you want to play ranked play, you got to have all the hacks rolling on your computer or Xbox if you want to be in one ranked. And maybe that's where all the hackers are playing, so they're not in regular multiplayer games. Not saying I still see some suspicious stuff that happens in multiplayer. Don't get me wrong, but it's not nearly as bad as the last couple of games.
Yeah, when you got some motherfucker T-posing down the middle of Nuketown. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, like in the last, I think the last game I played the shit out of, I didn't play the multiplayer in Modern Warfare 3 because after I played the campaign, I was like, this game was so bad, I never wanted to play it again. Would it be Modern Warfare 2? It got to the point where nearly every game there was like, I was reporting someone for hacking because it was that fucking bad. And that's why I stopped playing that game because it was like, I'm not having fun. There's a guy sitting at the back of the map that's literally spawn dying us and shooting through 15 fucking cars, right? Because he has some fucking aimbot on or some bullshit like that. Or his gun has 0 kick, which is not possible because he has something plugged into his Xbox controller that can help somehow get rid of a gun kick. It's just... And now I can't even play the game. Now I don't play the game because, well, I can't even play it. So I can't even complain about the hacking because, well, like, there's a problem to fix with your hacking. Can't complain about hacking if you can't even play your game. Activision logic. I
think the most suspicious thing I've seen, and it's like straight up hacking, is on the Nuketown. I saw some motherfuckers shooting through the bus.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I reported his ass like 5 times.
Yeah, so did I. That pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, it's because I think you can shoot through the bus like legitimately, but like how he was sitting on the one side of the bus. And if you know the Call of Duty map Nuketown, on one of the houses there's an alley where you pop out, and then there's the moving truck in the middle, and then you basically, as you're walking out the alley, if you kept going straight, you'd run into the bus. He would sit on the other side of the bus, and then just randomly, because you'd watch it on the kill cam, because you'd be like, how the fuck I die, right? I didn't even see anybody. You'd watch it on the kill cam, he'd be sitting there fucking jerking off, and then he'd stop, just point down the alley, start shooting, and he'd get hit markers and stuff, and then you die, and then you just continue to like just go back to looking at the ground. And then he would look up, look towards the alley, shoot people again, and then it was like, how the fuck's he even know I'm there?
I think something that makes me kind of laugh is thinking about how these people are like, oh, I'm doing it as rage bait. No, you're doing it because you suck dick. It's all right. It's all right. We know. We know.
The dumb part is like, you're so obvious that you're hacking, right? Like, it's so, like, if there's other ones where it's like, I've reported people because I think they're using an aimbot. Maybe they're not, and they're just really good or whatever. But it was so obvious he was hacking.
Yeah.
And you,
yeah.
Like, dude, you're not even hiding it. It's not like you are just walking up and you just happen to be shooting through the bus or whatever, and then you get a hit marker, so then you would just zone in on that. You are consistently going up to the bus, sitting behind it, shooting through the bus where you can't see anything, and getting kills. Holy fuck, why don't you just roll into a fucking school naked at that point? Because you are so obvious that you're being there. You're fucking a molester. It's like, oh my God, dude, you're not even hiding it, you know? Put your penis in your pants and at least try and hide it a little bit better. So I hope he's gotten banned. And I know Activision's ban thing is not serious enough. They needed to start banning people right away rather than just shadow banning them. It's just, and I know one thing that's been going on is so like, what people will do, so what hackers do now is that when you report them for hacking, somehow they know, so then they will like, they'll have a program that'll go and spam a bunch of reports to you that you're hacking, and so then to the Ricochet anti-cheat system, it would automatically shadow ban you for like 30 days. And I don't know if at that point it then goes to like Activision and they can review it and stuff, but it's like what they should do is like, if it gets to the point where if in a time frame there's so many things, or I think what it should do too is just when you report something for hacking, somebody for hacking, it should also automatically report you. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of like the whole thing in like racing, like in NASCAR in the garage, some team would complain about this team would be having a cheat on there. So NASCAR's like, okay, we'll check their car, but we're also going to check your car for it too. Because, to make sure you're not using it, you just don't want them to use it because now you have the advantage. So that's what they should do, because I'm not saying it's going to fix it. You're never going to fix hacking, because the minute you find a loophole, another one's going to open somewhere. And so it's just a constant battle. But I've not had the problems with it in this game. Then again, I haven't been able to play it in the last month, basically. So maybe it's gotten out of fucking hand. But it's just annoying. It's just annoying that a game with a budget of, I don't even know, $300 million, and we can't even have it fucking work on PC. Yeah. It's just annoying. But what also is annoying, I saw this the other day and I had to fucking laugh. I almost made this my functional idiot. So the Treasury Department, the U.S. Treasury Department, pretty important thing, right? Kind of runs the whole fucking Federal Reserve, our banking system and shit. That's where you get your social security number associated to you when you pop out of your mom's vagina. Yeah, it got hacked. It got hacked by China.
Nice.
Yeah, but not just by China, but a group that's basically sponsored by the Chinese government. Swell. Yeah, what a bunch of bullshit this is. And reading the article that I saw it from, the group that our government assigned to it, like some fucking like fancy, it's this, that, or whatever, like, Shadow Company 56 Asshole Task Force 131 group, or whatever the fuck they called them, started about 4 years ago. Dylan, what also started about, now I'm not trying to get too into the political spectrum here, but Dylan, what also started about 4 years ago within American politics?
The new presidency.
Oh, isn't that interesting timing? And it's no secret that Trump was a lot harder on China than Biden. That's undisputable. Okay, I don't care if you are lean right, you lean left. That is a fact. Trump was a lot harder on China than beating Medicaid out here was. But it's getting frustrating because, China is our biggest foreign threat right now. Like Russia, not really, because we fucking smoke them when it comes to anything GDP or military wise, right? They don't even hold a candle to our shit. China doesn't yet either, but they also have a country of like 1.4 billion people. And they have a communist government that can basically do whatever it wants, regardless of what the people want. And they also are hacking into our Treasury Department. So, enough right there should be to send nukes to Beijing, in my opinion. But, that's why I don't run the country.
Yeah, because this motherfucker would be like, some fucking poor dude sneezes wrong, and they're like, send the nukes! Send the fucking nukes! Send the nukes!
Well, we need to do something. And I don't know what that's. I made the comment, maybe we just need to start lobbing missiles over Beijing. Like, you want to fuck with us, dude? We can literally wreck you. We can delete you off the world map. Like, you go to Google Maps and you will become the Pacific Ocean. All right? You really want to fuck with us? Because we have more shit than you even know. Like, you think you know what we have? We've got 4 times that. So obviously you can't just start lobbing missiles over Beijing. It's what I would do, right? Even if you don't hit anything, just start sending missiles that way. Fuck them at this point. I don't fucking care. It's like, it's too bad the U.S. doesn't have a policy of just fucking popping world leaders' heads off. It's too bad we don't have that policy, because it would solve, honestly, a lot of problems. Like, North Korea wouldn't be a problem. China wouldn't be a problem. Russia, not a problem. Right? But that's just not what we do, unfortunately. So, but it's stupid that, and who knows? I'm sure the Treasury Department's probably working with fucking Windows 95. So,
yeah,
because nothing in government is efficient. So, that's probably kind of the genius of it, is that it's so old that modern systems don't even know how to fucking deal with it. But at the same time, it's like, that is so embarrassing to the rest of the world that our Treasury Department got fucking hacked by China. I know not directly by the Chinese government, but by a hacker group in China paid for by the Chinese government. That is so embarrassing to the rest of the world, in my opinion. If that happened to anyone else, that would be laughable. Absolutely laughable. And they haven't said yet what they've taken. I hope to God they have not taken Social Security numbers because, well, I mean, that would be the Treasury Department's problem to figure out because, well, you're the one who got fucking hacked. So maybe you need to figure out how you're going to fix that. But, I mean, it's just like, really? We got fucking weather balloons floating across the entire country before we shoot them down. And we knew it was going to float across the country about 2 days prior to it happening. But we didn't shoot it down then because reasons. We got a fucking foreign country hacking into our Treasury Department. God knows what they stole. It's like, when's the bullshit going to stop?
Right.
When is the bullshit going to stop? When are we going to step up and say, you know what? No, next person who fucks with us, we're going to just wipe you off the map. Solve that problem, right? And I get, with the civilians and stuff. Well, yeah, maybe the civilians in China, the 1.4 billion people there, should have done something by now. They ain't got that much firepower in China to take on a population of 1.4 billion. Okay, we'll even say 700 million, charging after the fucking government in Beijing and overrunning it. I don't think they have enough firepower to do that. So it's like, I don't know what we're, I hope the shit stops with a new guy taking over here in 14 days when this comes out, 15 days now. But it's just like, what's next? Are we going to have our fucking traffic lights get hacked where now everyone gets green lights and there's this, constant T-bones everywhere because we can't even protect the fucking local Dunkin' Donuts from getting hacked by China? I mean, where are we going to fucking stop with this shit? When are we going to stop with it? But, all right, Dylan, before we move on to banned words of 2025, what is your banger of the week?
Banger of the week is, oh, fuck, I closed out a fucking...
You are a piece of shit. Do you want me to go first then?
No, I got it.
All right.
It's Good Luck Babe by Chappelle Roan. That's a very catchy song for no reason. Shut the fuck up. You haven't even heard it, bitch. That was a
You're
nice
right.
squeaker.
Yeah, I have not heard it.
What do you got? 9 Inch Nails? Closer?
I'm thinking about it now.
Yes.
No, I've got my banger of the week is a Hailstorm song called "I Miss the Misery." It is really
Nice.
Is it a new song?
It's not new. I don't know when it came out. It's not like it didn't just come out. I mean, obviously, Hailstorm is a newer rock band, if you want to call it that. They play newer style rock.
I Miss the Misery, right?
Yeah, it came out in 2012. So, yeah, it's not new. It's 13 years old now.
Definitely not new.
Definitely not new. Actually, it's almost 13 years old. It was released on April 10th, 2012. So, yeah, not new. But, yeah, it's a pretty good song. Pretty good song. Dylan, I can hear it if you're playing.
Hear what?
I'm just fucking with you. I can't hear it.
Because
Because I know sometimes you'll start playing songs that I say or whatever like that.
Right.
So thank you for listening to this first part of this episode of the Functional Idiots podcast. Part 2 will be out in just a couple days. And until then, don't be dumb.